Hey, what's up? It's Frankie here. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to run Facebook ads for local brick and mortar businesses. And if you've been doing that for a while, you know there's definitely some pitfalls in that journey, including the fact that they can be really bad at closing those kind of leads. So let's talk about how to create a structure and a framework that actually creates a win-win so that clients are happy when you run the ads and they keep paying you for a long time and they rave about you and they refer you to new people instead of the experience most people have, which is they quit after 3 months and say they're all bad leads. So let's get into that. So it's a nice peaceful day, German forest. So let's talk about a couple of the things that go wrong and running Facebook ads for local business. I don't want this to be like an overly technical, like step one, set up the pixel. If you guys are looking for that kind of thing, it's probably, I'll just warn you now, it's probably another video. I'm looking more to help you guys actually create successful win-wins, especially where clients pay you for a long time. And there's a hidden pitfall in this that nobody talks about, by the way, which says the average Facebook ad client for a local business stays 3 months. And we're finding actually in our private mastermind that most of the people are keeping clients for 2 years or more. And I want you just to imagine the difference between getting paid 3 times from a client versus seeing that payment notification 24 times in your inbox and having people be happy about that and happy with your service. So I'll tell you 2 of the biggest pitfalls that you're going to encounter running Facebook ads for a local business. The first is that local businesses are generally really shit at closing leads. And when I say shit at closing leads, I mean they don't answer the phone. They don't call or message people back. They take a really long time. And then when they talk to them, they say stupid things. Like really stupid things. Sometimes I can remember actually one law firm I was doing this for had somebody answering the phones on the lunch hour. She didn't know how to answer the person's question who called. She said, well, why don't you just Google some other lawyers and you can find the answer there. Hey, just go to our competitors. They got the answer. Don't ask me. It's not my job to know. So one of the things is normally when people think of themselves in this little box here that says I do Facebook ads, they think their job is to turn on the lead machine. But I want you guys to expand that definition and think that in order for a harmonious win-win with my clients, that what I actually need to do, this is a really cool looking little bridge here, I don't know if you guys can see that, is I need to think about helping them to actually win with the leads that I create. And I learned this the hard way, by the way. If you try and tell your client 60 to 90 days into the relationship that, hey, by the way, you suck at fucking closing leads right here, you're just going to get into a pissing match and you're going to get fired and they're going to leave unhappy and say bad things about you and you're going to feel like shit the next time you try and sign a client. So one of the things you want to do is, knowing that this is going to be a problem, is address this on day 1. So that means before you turn on a single ad, one of the things you might want to do, and I call this a little mystery shop, is, and you can pay somebody on Fiverr to do this, you can do this yourself, you call up the client and you stress test their system and you submit an email form and you send them the kind of leads that you'll be sending. Of course, it's not really a real lead, but you see how they're doing on the phone. And what you'll find is a lot of local businesses will say stuff like this, like lawyers will tell me, I close 100% of the business that gets sent my way. If you send me a lead, I'm going to close it because I'm that good. And one of the first things I actually did, I remember getting a $40,000 contract with a guy who, good guy named David. And I remember just calling up his office and saying, yeah, I hurt myself in an accident. I got my back. And proceeded for his staff to fumble and to bumble and to screw it up, and then sent him that phone call by email and said, do you still believe you sign 100% of the cases you won? He was like, hey, I'm kind of embarrassed. But all of a sudden, he was much more willing to work with me on the phone part. So we had a training we created that had recordings of successful calls and negative calls, and we put their staff through it and help them learn. You got to be quick with people. You got to answer the questions well. And we're about to get rained on here, this is Germany. Pray the gray away in Germany. But I'm about to go see my little baby girls who are with Oma and Opa. So when you do this correctly, what you'll find is if you do it on day one, clients are much, much more open to getting that phone process right. And in order for them to win, I think it's also equally important that you show them, once they get people in the door, how to multiply that business is. So one of the things we do in our masterminds, create little referral cards that they can give out so that when they do get people from Facebook ads, those Facebook ads people tend to multiply. And when you do that, when you expand your box to more than just I'm the turn on the Facebook ad leads people, you'll find that helping people with the conversion problem that they didn't really know they had, but it's their real issue, you keep clients a lot longer. And your service goes up in value. And if you're smart about it, you can reuse all of those things. Now, the second challenge with running Facebook ads for local businesses is what most people call onboarding. And I see a lot of this in groups where people are like, how can I onboard people? How can I automate it? Can I use Go High Level? And if you want to really keep people for the long term and not do what most agencies do, which I think is pretty stupid personally, not like intentionally stupid, but just not wise, is instead of having clients just leave every 3 months and always needing to be selling and always needing new people, having clients who stay, is instead of thinking onboard, think welcome aboard. How can I say welcome to my establishment and have them be like really stoked about working with you. Have them be like excited about the cool things you guys are doing together. And so when you get into welcome aboard instead of on board, you do things a little bit differently. I'll give you like one little pro tip. One of the things we do with our local clients is when they sign up with us, I send them an edible arrangement with some salted chocolate caramel apple and a thank you note. Say, hey, excited to see you. That goes a long way in beginning that relationship right. And obviously you still got to do work and do things correctly and deliver on your promises. But instead of thinking about how can I just like automate them. And so what you want to think about is there's going to be some tech setup in order to get working with you. And that usually means getting set up on the account and pixels and those kind of things that most local business owners just aren't super savvy with. And I go ahead and let them know in advance. I say, hey, there's kind of an unfun part here, and it's the 15 minutes of tech setup. So I can either jump on the phone with you and walk you through it step by step. Jump on Zoom with you and walk you through it step by step. Or if you'd like to just give it a shot on your own, I've got a couple of videos that I've made that'll walk you through it step by step, and you can do that. Again, thinking welcome aboard, not on board. And then the third thing, by the way, where most people lose business is in the reporting. And the reporting is a big deal because most local businesses do not know how to read Facebook ads. And after years of trying every tool in the world, I've done this with SEO, I've done this with AdWords, I've done this with Facebook ads, sending people automated reports that look really pretty, you get the same question again and again, which is, can you tell me what this shit means? I'm not a super techie. And instead I've learned that it's much better, rather than send people a super techie report, is just to say, in everyday plain English, here's what we're doing, here's why we're doing it, here's how it's going, and here's what to expect next. When you do that, you'll be amazed at how much clients appreciate a little 2-minute update that lets them know, here's what we're doing, here's why we're doing it, here's how it's going, and here's what we can expect next. And it suddenly creates a level of trust in you that most Facebook ad agencies don't experience. And a lot of people have really burned this bridge hard for business owners, and it's a little bit of their fault and it's a little bit of our fault, so I'm not like pointing any fingers, it's a mix of both. But when you do this right, what'll happen is you'll end up with people say, hello. You'll end up with people who stay a whole lot longer. And in my opinion, this is really the right way to do Facebook ads. So for those of you guys who are really like in the trenches running stuff, I hope this is super helpful for you, because the real key with this is having happy clients that stay and pay you and rant and rave about how awesome your service is. And you don't get into the typical traps of they hire you and then 3 months later they say they're all bad leads and they leave pissed off, which is the experience most agency owners unfortunately have. So that's really all I got for you guys in this video. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure it's a button somewhere underneath. You guys know where it is. Hit that button, and may the force be with you.